Hey, one person. Go ahead and say hi in the chat and also come with your thumbs up. All right, go ahead and give say hi in the chat. Give a thumbs up because I'm about to make some announcements. Hey, D Nuts. Well, you're the only one in here, I guess. What are you up to? Oh, okay. Well, thank you. All right, so next week is Christmas already. I don't even know if that's a girl or boy cat. Right over there being bad. Charlie, come here. You know this cat answer to his name. Come here. Sitting on a box that's on the. Come here, Charlie. Come here. Charlie, come here. Come here. You got up there, so come down. Come here. Somebody wants to say. Somebody wants to say hi. Come. Stop playing. I'm not playing, Charlie, with you. Charlie, come here. Somebody wants to say hi. All right, we'll put it by then. I don't know if that's a girl or boy. I can't even tell. Shoot, it might be a boy. For all we know. Check. Come, man. Come taking stuff out this box with all this red things. Now I have to clean up tomorrow. Maybe a nice shoe. So what are you doing for Christmas? I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I mean, I'm not making that trip. I'm not taking a trip anywhere. I looked online to see any places that I would like to go. And if I wanted to go to the Bahamas, it would literally have to be like Monday, Tuesday. Because after that, all the dates are closed until about February. And I was looking at different resorts and stuff. So the plan for going somewhere for Christmas in regards to any type of island, that's gonna be pushed back. So that's gonna be pushed back because you know, I started making my schedule for TurboTax. And like I said, I have to go and use that ticket, that $500 ticket credit rather, before July. So I have plenty of time to really go somewhere. So, but I don't know what I'm gonna do for Christmas. I don't feel like driving to South Carolina, that's for sure. Hey, 3 people in the room. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll find out. I'll decide on Wednesday. I'll decide by Wednesday, Thursday. Either I'm gonna visit a friend and they live outside of Augusta, or I'm going to maybe visit my other sister in Albany, Georgia. Or I'll go to South Carolina. The only reason why I'm not so particular about going to South Carolina is, I go every year. I go every year. And I don't want to feel like obligated, I don't want to feel like obligated and it's just, I don't know. supposed to know? I don't know. My relatives don't live in Savannah. Why you ask about Savannah? And why you keep calling? And why you keep making it seem like Atlanta's ghetto? Oh, no, I live in the metro part, but what makes you think it's what makes you keep saying it's ghetto? I don't have to know. Every place is ghetto. Where do you live? You know, for someone that doesn't show their face or didn't say where they from, you sure like to call places or where other people live ghetto. Hey, Lyle. Well, you can't say just because you went to certain places or they went to certain spots that don't make it ghetto. You can go anywhere. You could go any place. You could go anywhere in these United States, and then every place got its nice parts, and every place got its ghetto parts or whatever. So, and what city are you from, D nuts? Yep, that's true. That is true. Hey, your player. No matter what city you go to or state you go to, every place has its ghetto. Trust me. Because one thing for sure, if Atlanta was so ghetto, people would not be flocking down here. So so that cannot. So don't say stuff is it's ghetto. Well, shoot, Seattle. The last time I looked up with Seattle and watched all those videos, Seattle got the what highest homeless rate anywhere. Shoot, Seattle ain't no Emerald City like it used to be. If you go and put Seattle in, they have a whole bunch of. They got way more problems. That high homeless rate. And nobody think it's cheap. They flocking over there because they flocking over to Seattle because of all that people get away with things in Seattle. I thought you said it was. I thought you lived on the East Coast. I don't recall you telling me you lived on. I didn't recall that you saying that you lived in Seattle. I thought you said you lived in Maryland or Virginia. Well, I don't know. So I know they said downtown Seattle is has a whole bunch of homeless people all over the place, and this is like in the major city part of Seattle. Then where are you? Where do you from? Where do you live? So where do you live now? These nuts. What are you doing? You still didn't answer the question. So where do you live now? Williamsburg, Virginia. And what made you move from Seattle to Williamsburg, Virginia? Stop writing stuff that you know that you're not going to do. So stop writing stuff that you know you're not going to do. And what job was this? Well, let me go ahead and talk about what I was going to talk about. So anyway, so Christmas next week. It doesn't seem to be a lot of Christmassy, festive engineering. I thought you said you was doing those gig work. What field of engineering? You never talked about it one on one for anything else. So you say one on one. When is that going to be? Because I already gave you my number. You ain't called, so I'm not going to be holding my breath. You You said a whole lot of things. You said a lot of things. And talking 101 is not sending emails because, I get too many emails. All right, so let me tell you what I'm going to be doing with terms of changes to my channel and the reason why. Now, I have a particular person who's being a damn ass, and y'all probably know who it is because they be on here. And after numerous harassments, and I'm quite sure they probably lurking in the background, ready to say something, I will not be enabling comments anymore. I'm not going to enable any comments. And starting next year, which is in a couple of weeks, anyone that wants to view my channel, one, you have to be a subscriber and be an active subscriber. Otherwise, I'm going to start deleting and blocking. Now, I already blocked one person, but they, for some reason, they kept on harassing, sending despairing emails because I found a way where if I want to find and know who you are, you left enough messages for me to trace you. And once I notify you and tell you and I said do not message me anymore. If you don't like my channel or don't like anything I have to say, or you have something to say, you don't have to come on here. You don't have to come on here. You don't have to be. I'm not going to mention their name because they be mainly on here. They mostly be on. They mostly be on here, and then got something to say. Let me see something. Let me look at the comments. Make sure because all my comments are held for review. Mm-hmm. But it's not you, so well, I think I got to the point where I flagged them and I stopped and I um well, I don't have that many subscribers. I'm gonna tell you who is not. It's not you. These nuts is not your pleasure. It's not Romeo. It's not Shelly Shell. It's not um Twisting Locks. I know who that is personally, so it's not. It's just not. It's not. It's Let me see. Well, I already they haven't wrote anything since then, but it was last week where you literally wrote me messages back to back. I held it for review and contacted YouTube. I blocked them, but I'm quite sure I have 6 people in here. So 6 people need to respond with a message in the chat. So these nuts, Lyle, that's 2, 3. Who are the other 3 people that's lurking in the background? Even if you're at work or whatever and you just listening, just say hi. Take a minute to say hi so I can know who's in here. Because if you continue to keep sending me messages, writing to me or whatever, then I'm going to go to the police because at that point it's harassment, and they know exactly who I'm talking about. So it's not Blue True, it's not Shelly Shell, it's not the Joe. I mean, because I don't have that many people. I only have about one, two, three. I probably literally got 10 to 12 people who may come in my chat on a regular. Because that person, they've been blocked to the point where I'm not even going to say who it is. Because y'all probably seen the person, y'all seen the name in there. Because I was going to do a video with the person. It's not even a name. It's not even like it's not even like a name per se. And I can't even remember. I can't even remember the name because it's so dang strange. So at this point, that's what I will be doing. So then these nuts, on the other hand, If you want to talk to me, you give me a call. And I'm not talking about no email either. All right, y'all. I ain't got much to say. Up, 6 of y'all, but only 3 of y'all in the chat. Well, 1, 2. I only see 3 of y'all in the chat. Charlie, where you at? Cat, real quiet. All of a sudden, Charlie got real quiet. All of a sudden, he was in the corner. Now I don't see him. Better not be doing nothing I ain't supposed to be doing. Anyway, I'll find out by the middle of the week if I'm going to go to South Carolina or I'm just going to be local or stay local. But I just feel like, really, to be honest, I really feel like this being home and resting. I don't feel like just going all the way out in the streets all the time. It do not seem like does not seem like Christmas. That's for sure. Oh, you live in South Carolina? Where in South Carolina you live at again? I know you told me one time, but I think you did. So your place, where in South Carolina you live at? Oh, near Sumter. Well, where I'm going, right around Charleston area. That's like almost 5 hours, maybe 4.5, depending on how you drive. 125 miles plus from me. Well, I'll be almost in the neck of your woods, I guess. Almost. Well, they had that South Carolina State versus Jackson State University played at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta today. So my aunt and her crew, all 10 of them, came all down here for the game. She's her and her husband and my uncle, they're alumni of South Carolina State Bulldogs. She did call me to let me know she was in town. I knew she was going to be in town anyway. They shoot football game with South Carolina. They'd be traveling. And she was like, I don't want you to say nobody came to town, didn't tell you nothing. And they didn't say that I didn't, And at that point, I was like, one, I wasn't going to go to the game because I ain't had no ticket anyway. And I'm not an alumni of either of those universities. I didn't go to an HBCU. Then she was like, oh, I'm sorry. I went to the University of South Carolina. But if I was going to go to an HBCU, it would have to have been Howard or it would have been Spelman. It would have to have been either of those two if I was going to an HBCU. But South Carolina beat Jackson State. It was a good game. I saw it on TV. Well, I saw it on the internet. On ES, it was on. Yeah, it is the Low Country. Well, everybody came from the South eventually. I mean, I lived in New York. I was raised in New York too. But I like to say northern exposure with a southern charm because I lived in the South just as equally. At this point, I lived in the South just as equally as I lived in New York. Or better yet, I lived in the South more so than I lived in New York at this point in my life. But I know one thing: New York is not the same, and everybody leaving New York, even the ones who lived in the Bronx and Brooklyn and Harlem, they left that. They left that. They left New York for a more slower pace, more, you know. In some cases, it might be even better. New York ain't the same like it used to be. Well, they may not be from the South, but if you go back to your ancestry, they lived somewhere in the South. If they didn't live, if your family did not originate from the South, whether it be grandparents or whatever, they either from like the Caribbean or England or something. Other than that, everyone has some sort of Southern background, even if you didn't live in the South. So if they didn't live in the South, they usually lived in the Caribbean islands somewhere. So where did your grandparents live? I mean, if you, I don't know how old you are, but either one's grandparents lived in the South. Like for me, my parents were from the South. So depending on how far back they lived in New York, they came from somewhere. So I got an email notification about my 23andMe. They got the lab results, so they running the DNA test. So I should be getting something back in the early part in January with my DNA. It's part of that Go Forward app with the health app. Not health, but the one I was talking to you about. So part of that DNA test is going to break down about different health issues and stuff like that. But they also have a DNA that breaks down in terms of genetics. I'm looking forward to getting back and see what it says. Once I get it back, I'll share that with y'all and show y'all what it looks like. But this is the sticker, 23andMe, and part of the membership was they give you a genetic test, and it was free. So I sent it off to the lab. Y'all saw that brief. If y'all went back and saw that brief video that I made, it wasn't live. I sent it off. So I'll get it back and I'll share with y'all. I'm really into genealogy and things like that. I was watching something on YouTube with Dr. Gates. They was doing these different celebrities and their family tree, and I was watching it, and they had did like Queen Latifah, Oprah, um, J- um, that football player from Seattle, he Seahawks, um, Russell Wilson. His one was really interesting. He was in Charlottesville, and they went over his family tree on both his sides of the family, and they so managed to trace his. It was so interesting. It's on YouTube too. If you go back, it was about 4 years ago they did it, and they went back. This how far back they went for him. They went back as the Roman Empire time. That's how far back they was able to trace his family lineage and history. And he had a really interesting family family tree background. I was like, man, it was real interesting. Y'all have to go back and look at that video with Russell Wilson, the family tree with, and that show comes on PBS. So in a couple weeks they'll have a new episode of People. So I don't have TV anymore because I don't have cable, and I have to buy me either a Roku or a Fire Stick or something so I could go back and look at television. Otherwise, I look at TV on YouTube and stuff. So they're gonna have a whole new group of people that they do the genealogy on. So I'm really looking forward to getting that back. But I would like to do at one point. I think I have my family reunion books. Somebody in the family traced it, the family roots, but I would really want to look more deeper into it because I think on my they traced the roots back on my mother's side or my grandmother's side. I'm gonna have to show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all once I get the results back, so I could show y'all the family tree that was done. We had the family historian in the family. Her name is Daisy, and she she went and did it too. I want to say they went back one, two, three. I think they went. Either they went back 4 or 5 generations. One of them they went back. Hold on, let me get the. I'm gonna go downstairs in my garage and see if I'm gonna get it. Hold on, I'm gonna get the book because now I'm so curious. I'm gonna go back and show y'all. Hold the fort down. All right, I'm back. So let me look. I kept it in this Verizon wireless bag. And I kept all the little journals. I guess you could say journals, but it was just like a book somebody put together. Now open. I had this for years. All right. Okay, zipper thing. Come on now. Can't even open it up. I made a suggestion to my aunt one time. We was talking about that we should do a time capsule and put it in the backyard somewhere for my grandparents and have a time capsule and people could put different family memorabilias and we should open it up in 100 years from now or whenever, and people could keep stuff in there to remember. And she said, that's a great idea because, oops, dang it. Because see, you could kind of do that on the internet now because trust me. Oh, come on, open up. I think it's breaking my dang nails. Here it is. Dang, you know the shoe. Ain't no telling what's in this bag. I know I kept I even kept this what I kept too. When I went to Washington, D.C. When I went to the inauguration, the first one, I kept this right in this bag. Obama takes oath. I said, look at this, it's turned all brown. Historic victory. I would have put this in a frame somewhere, but I kept it because I said this is going to be history. Look at this. I'm so proud. Can you believe that it's been since 12 years ago? 2009. Amazing. I'll put that back. This is my little grandmother, her picture. I have two of these. I just saw this on my desk when we gave her a birthday party back in 2006. What else did I keep in here? All right, here is the family reunion books. The Nelson's Family Reunion. Dang, this page is. And then it's another one, The Magic of Unity. Mm-hmm. And then this one. I got two of these. Wait a minute. I got two books. I'm keeping that. I got two of these. If ain't nobody, if some people in my family ain't got none, they better not take mine. CDPW, that stands for Casey Davis Prelude, Washington, 1994. And then this one, 2000, Casey Davis Prelude, Washington, together in 2000. Millennium Family Reunion. Okay, so let me see. So in it, I remember when my aunt did this. I said, These are my aunt and uncle. They the ones, I guess they were the ones who was hosting it. And one time, they the ones who went to South Carolina State, came in the truckload. Look at my cousins, my two cousins. They still look so young. Now they grown adults with kids. The menu. Let me see. And look, y'all. This is the. Let me show y'all. This is a picture of my great grandfather on my mother's side, Lawton Casey. The original picture is with my grandmother, but this is a picture. See, look. This picture, he got the cane and the suit. Lawton Casey Sr. He was the eldest child of Harriet Babe Dingle. This is incomplete. So at this particular family reunion book in 2000, it was the great grandchildren of Harriet Babe Dingle. So this is the different family reunion trees that they had. Now y'all can't see it, but so this one, Descendants of John Davis Prelude. John Davis Prelude, 1912, passed away 1997. Rainey Gavin Prelude, 1914 to 1966. Let me see something here. They didn't put this in one big family tree and put it all together. They put them separate on different pages of the branch. I guess when you have to put in a book, you can't really do it. But if they put that thing like on a big, like they did on that show, that would have been interesting. You know what? I'm gonna see if anyone could replicate the tree and put it all together, and then I could put this big thing on my wall like they did on that TV show. But then it'll be easier to. It'll be easy, but I can't figure it out. Let me see. Oh, okay. This family tree right here, this page, this is my grandfather and my grandmother. And then they show all their kids and then all the descendants. So let me show you where I'm at. This is I'm right here. So I'm right here. That's where I'm at in the branch. So it was me, my sister Linda, and my other sister Erica. She passed away. So this branch would be extended to his children because I have a grandniece, and then he would put the married who. So this would need to be extended more. Let me go back because this thing goes way back more. This is my grandmother. That's her on that tree. And these are all my grand aunts and uncles. Okay, let's go back. Because Harriet Babe Dingle, John Casey, the first husband. No, she was married twice. Yeah, that was it. They didn't put any more on. Is this the beginning branch? Yeah, that's the beginning branch. So that means that they went back to my great, 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 great. Yep. Well, that's one of them. Let me see. I'm quite sure I could find me some. I could find more and go back in that branch. I think when I go to South Carolina, but I have to go. Dang it! Who's to say the library's still open? I'm gonna have to go. Maybe I could find out how. I could go on the Census Bureau. I could look it up online. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find some more research on how to go back. Well, maybe this is the recent. Let me see. This is 2003, and this is my grandfather. There's a picture of him right there. All right, let me put my little memorabilia's away. Yeah, these are the. This is the other branch of my family. This is another. That's on my grandfather's side. What was that story that they wrote? It was something I heard. The story that I heard was they were descendants from Barbados or something. These pictures are black and white, but you can't even look at it. It's not even that clear. They even talked about the Dangtown Cross. John James Cross owned quite a bit of land in the Cross area. After the Civil War, he promised anyone who stayed within his 50 acres of land. There was a housekeeper by the name of May Cheney Hamilton who stayed on after the Civil War, and she was given 50 acres of land. Ma Cheney had one daughter that lived in Benue named Nun. Da 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 da. When I finish getting my genealogy, I will read the story to y'all. I ain't gonna read it to y'all now. I'm just looking at this. Yep. That's on my little books. Put my little. Oh, the good old days. Anyway, y'all ain't saying nothing. All right, well, let me go. I guess I'll talk to y'all later. I guess yeah, I'll come on during the week. I already finished my updated refresher lessons for Intuit TurboTax, and I still haven't gone back to Amazon yet since I didn't get the clearance letter. And then, as for the other job, they gave me the computer system, but I told I wasn't interested because I'm not gonna, the schedule is too restrictive, intense, in sense of um, that was Department of Education. And I said, you know what, y'all not paying enough money, so I'm gonna stick with TurboTax, Intuit TurboTax, and just work when they have overtime, because I know they're going to have they will be having overtime. So I'm gonna concentrate on working with TurboTax, and then work as many hours during the tax season, and then I'm gonna do my tax business on the side, and then because the doctor already told me I can't work on my feet for that long length of time, and I just have too many jobs. People say you got too many jobs, and that may be true. I may be working, doing all these different gigs, but I'm stacking up my money, that's for sure. But at this point, next year, God willing, I'm gonna focus more on building building my brand, building my business, still learning website development, software development, and keep networking and doing some investments. I've done small investments this year, but I'm going to really start breaking down my budget. A lot of stuff is going to be cut out, and I'm gonna be more not intense, intentional with my money. In terms of breaking down what I spend, especially next year, and paying down these student loans, paying down the mortgage, and paying down the HOA fees. And because I don't have no credit card debts, I have a little credit card debt like $45 or something, but nothing. But that's really my bulk of my debt: student loans and mortgage and HOA fees. Other than that, those are the two major debts that I got. And and then I gotta start upgrading on my house. I'm gonna start doing some work around here, but I'm not gonna do nothing major, major, but just small little things. You know, I was talking with I won't say she's a friend, but she's more like an acquaintance. She went to start doing real estate, and she got her license. And see, I've been calling. I contact people to see how they doing, and I haven't heard from her in a few years. And then she calls me last night. But the only reason she called me is because when I left a message on Facebook, it's like you trying to obtain clients, but then all this time I've been communicating with you, checking to see how you're doing. And then the minute you're a real estate agent, and I mentioned about downsizing my house, then you want to call me after I've called you a few times throughout the year. I don't like doing that. I don't like when people do that. They be all on Facebook doing all these things, and you don't hear from them. And then the minute you say, "Oh, they put all their business out on Facebook. They sold their house, and then you want to call me because now you're a real estate agent. Now you're trying to get business. I said I'll look you up. I'll consider you when it's time to sell, but you know, I said I'm not ready to sell like today. Because a lot of these people who are real estate agents, they, regardless how the economy goes, they looking for themselves. They're looking for making money. They're not really looking at your best interest. They're looking about making a commission. You know, knowing darn well that um, it won't collapse per se, but there's talks about the Fed is going to raise the interest rate, and people just thinking it's going to be this economic for collapse. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I just know that if I sell my house, I'll get double than what I paid for during the last economic downturn, which was 2009, 2008, 2009. But unless I was going to move into an apartment, unless I decide to move in an apartment and say I don't want to, I don't want to do home ownership anymore, and I get the difference, that's the only way how I get some money. But if I wanted to live if I wanted to, I'm not going to buy another house. Put it that way. I'm not going to buy another house. That's too much of an upkeep, and I'm not looking to upkeep. Do the yard, and it's just too much. Sometimes a lot of people be like, "You ain't gonna buy a house." You don't always have to buy a house. At some point in your life, it could be an investment if you're renting it, but while you're paying on a mortgage, it's still considered a liability. So you end up paying way more than what you paid for the house for when you think about interest and stuff. So, but I have my plans. I have my plans. Since it never worked out with me getting, having children, in these 10 years, and saying I was ever going to find not find, because I don't believe in finding anybody, but in terms of like getting married or having kids or something that didn't really go the way it did. So at this point, I'm just going to, and I don't know if I really want to get any housemates, because I could easily have a housemate, but with the coronavirus going on and things like that, you got to be careful about, I want strangers, I guess you could say. So, anywho, y'all have a good night. I ain't got nothing more to say. I will talk to y'all later.